we finally know what patents Nintendo's going to use in court, and they show why Nintendo's going to lose. And here they are. Patent number 7,545,191, patent number 7,493,117, and patent number 7,528,390. A trio. Before we even begin, we need to address the Alpha T fan in the room. When they filed this lawsuit, Nintendo claimed that Palworld violated multiple patents. But here, I only see 3. Now, through my understanding, multiple means more than just 3. I expected multiple in their case means like 5, 6, or 8. But what do I know? Now let's address the Gigantamax copyright in the room. July 30th, August 27th, February 26th, May 22nd, March 5th, and July 26th. What I just read were the patent's application and registration dates in the same year, 2024. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Hold on a minute. These 3 patents were filed after Palworld release. How is this legal? I know, but here's the thing. These patents are divisional patents. That means that these are child patents of a previous patent, an update of sorts. But let's talk about the game mechanics that these 3 new patents are supposed to protect. The row and arm to catch a creature with an aim, mount a creature to traverse the land, sea, and sky, and to battle a creature using your own creatures, which is also to summon the creature, and to let out your creature, all in an open field. Basically, the mechanics are all that involving a field character. So yes folks, this confirms that Nintendo's 2021 patent is indeed the killer parent patent. But given how these new patents are updates to that patent, they were incomplete until after Palworld's launch. That means that Nintendo did not have those patents at the time of Palworld's launch, and is now asking the Japanese patent office for these patents to be filed. They're asking the Japanese court system to retroactively allow them to use these patents in court just so they can use these patents on a legal competitor. I am certain that this is illegal in Japan because this is just patent trolling. Really, you cannot do this no matter how respected you are. You will then end up losing that respect once you get caught. Does Nintendo really want to go that route? Cause that mountain mechanic can get thrown out the window immediately. You see, what Miyamoto said in his video, that means Nintendo would have to go up against World of Warcraft. And do they really want to go that route? Cause they will lose a lot of other patents if they do that. Tell me in the comments right now on how many video games before Palworld allows you to summon a mount in an open field. The camera moves in a third-person perspective, right? They are claiming that that mechanic itself is essential to Pokemon Legends Arceus, but the only way that is because a creature that is summoned or captured is involved. But that mechanic exists in so many games before. Nintendo's hostility against Palworld over this is extremely nasty. Plus, the patent existed in 2021. Why suddenly update it now? And in regarding this lawsuit, why wait until this new version is out until they bring the lawsuit? That's too late. That opens up a lot of questions, and even Japan people will question this motive. Why does this patent need a new version, much less a trio of new versions, just to go after a competitor? It's like Nintendo is trying to say you are not allowed to expand on the genre of monster taming, cause you cause Pokemon to lose popularity. They are insisting that you are not allowed to innovate on the monster taming genre because that's patent infringement against Pokemon, and they insist you can't do that because Game Freak works very hard to help Pokemon continue and be relevant of all time and never fade to obscurity. But if we're being honest here, not even Pokemon can last forever. It's true. The lawsuit also seeks an injunction against Palworld, and everyone is freaking out about it, but I'm gonna explain. You see, the injunction only applies to Palworld's Japanese sales, not the rest of the world. So even if Nintendo does have their way with Palworld in this lawsuit, it only is just a fraction among the rest of the world. Pocketpair can still update Palworld, just not the Japanese version. And Palworld doesn't make as much sales in Japan anyway. Even so, I still don't want Nintendo to win, trying to make Pocketpair an example of what happens if you give Pokemon direct competition. Now what the title of this video is suggesting, yes, this does mean that Pocketpair can still win this lawsuit. You might say, but this lawsuit is still dangerous, they should just sell out. They can't. That would make them vulnerable to more claims against Palworld. Now what exactly do I mean when I say Pocketpair can win this lawsuit? We know that these 3 patents were filed after Palworld, and we also know the Killer Parent patent was filed in 2021. But how is Nintendo gonna lose this lawsuit? You know what? Guess. Guess what I'm about to say. Yeah, you're right. Craftopia. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Nintendo's 2021 Killer Parent patent is completely invalid because of Craftopia. Because Pocketpair released Craftopia in 2020, back when the coronavirus was around. And Craftopia uses the same game mechanics as Palworld. Throw an arm to catch a creature with an aim, mount a creature to traverse the land, sea, and sky, and to battle a creature using your own creatures, which is also to summon the creature, and to let out your creature, all in an open field. Before you tell me, but Japan has a first to file a patent principle, especially regardless of whether you're the inventor or not. 1. That principle has its limits, because 2. You have only 1 year to file a patent. Japan's first to file principle only applies to 1 year when that invention is out. So again, the Killer Parrot patent was filed in 2021, but Craftopia was released in 2020, and Craftopia has the same game mechanics as Palworld prior to that patent being filed. Now I know what you're going to say, but Nintendo is the richest company in the world, the richest company in Japan. Nintendo is respected in Japan because they give Japan a lot of money. Don't worry, letting Nintendo win and have them win with Palworld out of respect is actually out of bias, and thus corruption. And Japan doesn't tolerate corruption of any kind, no matter who it is, under any circumstances. So if Nintendo insists on having them win against Palworld, that would mean they would have to commit bribery in court. And we all know Nintendo would never stoop so low, especially in a court of law. And while Nintendo's rich, they're not that rich. Not the richest company in the world, and they're certainly not the richest company in Japan either. Now before you say, but Pokemon Legends Arceus and Palworld lets you catch creatures without going into battle. You can't do that in Craftopia. No, actually you can. It is possible. I for one can't wait to see this lawsuit blow up in Nintendo's face, and the Japanese fans' face, because they insist that Nintendo has to protect their property. They say that while hypocritically making fan games themselves. Once Nintendo and the Pokemon Company lose, it'll cost both of them a whole lot of money and a whole lot of patents, to the point where they can't afford their legal team anymore. Hey guys, it's Future Me, and there's actually some more info on why Nintendo can't win this lawsuit. Is actually very weird but true. One of the trial patents are going to be proved to be invalid thanks to something that happened before Craftopia, a Pokemon mod for Grand Theft Auto. This mod was released in 2016, where you can throw an item to catch a creature, in this case an actual Pokeball, in order to catch an actual Pokemon. The legal term in this case is prior art, which invalidates the claim of patent infringement. This is why I stand on how Japan's 1 year grace period outweighs their first to file principle. You can't protect and file a patent of something that's been done before, even if it hasn't been patented when it happened. Given how Nintendo has a stand against mods, this is going to be embarrassing. They will lose their patents, their money, and can't afford their ninjas anymore. And given a lot of stuff that caused Mario & Luigi Brotherhood to be a flop, we are seeing Nintendo's fall, despite their amount of money. And I can't wait for them to lose a lot more.